Hello and welcome back. So I have got some friends coming over tonight and it is beautifully sunny, glorious sunshine outside. So we are going to have some snacks and then we're going to sit outside and enjoy a dessert. So I am making a beautiful, very summery dessert for them and I thought I will share the recipe with you. It's a lovely vanilla flavored pavlova, and I am going to finish it with a layer of fresh cream and some homemade lemon curd and lots of berries, summer berries, to top it off and serve it. So this is quite nice because this is a pavlova which you can make it in advance. So you can make it 2, 3, 4 days in advance. I am not making it in advance because it's afternoon and they're coming this evening. So I've only got a few hours to make it, which is also fine. But this is great. So you can make it in advance and just finish it off. You can make the lemon curd in advance, put it in the fridge, and just finish it off when you're ready to serve, which is great thing about this dessert. It's easy to kind of prep and put it together at the last minute. So I am using 6 egg whites because I want a decent size pavlova that could serve around 8 to 10 people. You could go smaller, you could just half it, make it with 3 egg whites as well. So first things first, separate the eggs. Do not worry, we are going to use the yolks as well. So don't worry about that at all. And yep, we'll use it to make the curd which will go on top of the meringue. So we need 6 egg whites. And now the last one, and then we can move on and start whisking this. So in goes the egg whites, and I'm going to start whisking this. Now this is very key, so you make sure that it forms soft peaks before we start adding the sugar. So I have got here around 300 grams of sugar and I'm going to slowly add this while whisking this. And once all the sugar is in, we're going to continue to whisk it for a couple of minutes. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, we're not done yet. Now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of corn flour to this, and also going to add 2 teaspoons of cider vinegar, and then whisk it for one last minute, and also some vanilla before I forget. So I have got a nice big baking tray with some baking paper on top. And before I pipe that in, I just want to show you how beautiful our meringue is. Just look at that gorgeousness. Absolutely stunning. It is so lovely and stiff. You can turn it around, put it on top of your head, it won't fall. This is absolutely stunning. I'm now going to pipe it on top of the baking sheet. So if you want to make sure your baking paper doesn't move, just put a little bit of the meringue, and it makes sure that it sticks to the paper, and then the baking paper doesn't move. It's a beautifully, massively gorgeous meringue, and I'm going to pour all of it on top here. First, I'm just going to empty it all in. You can draw a circle and do all that stuff, but I just go by eye. And once I've got all of that in, I'm going to press it down and get it into a nice circle. Look at that. So I've still got a little bit left in the bowl. I'm not going to waste any of it. Now what I want is a little bit of space in the middle here to put our cream in once this is baked. So what I'm going to do is just make kind of like a crater in the middle. So there's like a natural room for cream once it's baked and ready. There you go. Doesn't that look stunning? Okay. The oven nice and hot at 140C or 120 fan, and because my oven is fan oven, or 140C, and I'm going to bake this for an hour and a half. See you later. And while the meringue is cooking, which is going to take an hour and a half, I'm going to start preparing the lemon curd so that it can be ready and it can chill. It can cool down, it can get chilled while the meringue cools down as well. So I'm going to start with, the hob is not on yet, so I'm going to put all the ingredients first. So that's the 6 egg yolks going. Also goes in 200 grams of caster sugar. I'm using golden caster sugar. You can use granulated sugar as well. So you can use around 4 lemons. I'm just going to add zest of 2 lemons first before I juice them. This is going to add a lovely strong flavor, slightly make it stronger with the juice. So I'm just going to chop these up, and if you roll them up slightly before you juice them, then they are a bit easier to kind of get the juice out. So I've got juice of 4 lemons in there and zest of 2. There it is. And I'm going to get the heat on and cook this on low heat until this thickens up. Let me show you closely. Alright, so as you can see, it's liquidy, and if you cook it on very high heat straight away, then your eggs will scramble up, which is what you don't want. So cook this slowly for 6 to 8 minutes. So it has been 6 minutes, and you can see that the consistency of the curd has changed. It was really dark yellow, liquidy, and it's now become really pale yellow, and the eggs have cooked So I'm going to turn the heat off. So the heat's turned off. And this is looking lovely. It smells really nice. And I'm going to add 100 grams of butter to this. And the heat is off. And I'm just going to stir it through. So from the heat of the egg, the butter will melt. And that's what we want. And it's kind of going to calm the eggs down as well. And then I will let this lemon curd cool down. So even though the curd has got no lumps in it, it's always a good idea to pass it through a sieve, because just in case there is anything left which your eye can't see, then at least it will just pass through the sieve and end up with a really smooth curd. And if you do get a few lumps in the curd, that's absolutely fine. See, that's what you get, all the extra lumps and also all the lemon zest comes out of it. Just get every bit out. Just going to put a thin, I'm going to put a layer of cling film on top of the surface, just because it doesn't then form any kind of layer on top. And you can leave this outside to cool if you have more time, otherwise let it cool in the fridge. So I have now cooked this for 1 hour 45 minutes. I've turned the oven off now, and you can see it's crispy on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit in the oven. I've turned the oven off, and I'm going to let this sit in the oven till it's cooled down completely. I've got a couple of hours. I'm going to leave it here. So this has completely cooled down. It's been sat in the oven, and it's completely cool. I think it's been in there for 4 hours. I've got a nice serving plate, and I'm just going to transfer it on there. And actually, it might not be big enough for this. Let's see, I think this might be better. Okay. Yep. Just about. Just about. So I have got here 600 ml of double cream, and I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of caster sugar into it and whisk it until I get nice soft peaks. And also going to add a dash of vanilla to this cream as well.
Want to add any more lemon curd?
I want to. Do you want to?
Do you want to? You've already tried it, innit?
Mum!
I was joking.
She was only joking.
Oh,